Minutes more, then we'll have to call it a morning on this very segment, AM Talk. Now, let's talk about what has been going on at the commission investigating our activities at the World Cup. And we're not looking at the football activity, we're looking at the management activities. I don't know how we can differentiate that, though. And apparently, a former member of parliament who also was part of the organizing committee, a presidential member of parliament for Climax's dramatic evidence on a tearful note at the Justice Jamape Commission yesterday.
The head of Yes.
And he's a head of
yes.
the Youth Enterprise Support Fund. Okay.
Is it Youth Enterprise Support or Youth Enterprise Support Fund?
Okay, Youth Enterprise Support. I know there's a fund there. That's why
that label has gone through crisis.
Okay.
It started with something else, and anyway, the bottom line, he's the head of that body.
He indeed has admitted that, well, he's the second person crying at the committee who is a high-profile person in government, and he admits that there's been failure in the whole organization. Something I believe that even many pundits had even foreseen prior to the start of the tournament.
Has he admitted it was failure?
Well, he has, especially...
I think it was a judge who put it to him that what people did was a huge failure.
And he concurred.
He had no option, so it wasn't a political...
You see, Roland, I'm at a loss as to the main objective of this committee or commission setup. Will the findings make any difference? Will people who are found culpable be punished? Will people be prosecuted, or any of the sort? And so, if it's going to end in, well, we came to discuss it just to find out, to know what happened, so we plan for tomorrow, I think it's not enough to deter it from repeating again. And this business
So you're saying what should be the lesson?
I'm asking what is going to be coming out from this. Because if just a forum where people come and then they break down in tears and cry and all of those things,
they pretend
it means what?
Down.
You know, crying as an expression of emotion, it's neither here nor there. It's not true. It's not false. It's just crying. It means what? What has happened, and what are we going to do going forward? And for those of them who are found culpable, what is going to happen to them? But if it's going to be business as usual, there's a commission put in place to just do inquiry, because the Minister of Sports that was there before the Brazil tournament has been, shifted from there to the presidency. The Deputy Minister of Sports is moved to the Ashanti region. So it's more like, even before the inquiry is made, look, okay, let's take it off. We know it was dirty, but then let's take you appointments. And it's wrong. So I don't see the point in this commission. I don't know what it's going to find. I don't know what it's going to do to our sports or do to administration. Things have gone wrong. People are culpable. People were engaged to do business in this sports enterprise without any writing, just by word of mouth. Okay, you do this, you do that. It's not right. It's not transparent. People must be punished because
don't you think it's also because it's a subculture? It's a subculture in our society.
Yeah, and we must be seen to be dealing with it. Otherwise, we just resign to it's a subculture. It's our subculture.
Now, your own observations.
I mean, this is a matter of governance. Whether this is a subculture or whatever it is not an excuse for what happened. And let me first commend the panel on the commission for a very good job done. Even though I share part of the sentiment that to what end this commission's exercise, to what end? At the end of the day, what is it going to serve? Is it just going to be an opportunity where people come and show how badly they handled the management of our participation in the World Cup? Or it is an opportunity where facts will be unearthed and subsequent to that some action will be taken? My understanding is that as a commission, once the commission does its work, it becomes difficult to prosecute on the basis of their findings. And for me, that disables this very exercise ab initio, that you have an exercise that will give us all the... Look at the startling and the annoying, the incensing revelations coming from this commission. And at the end of the day, none of it can be taken to court.
No.
I started to think why we decided to opt for this in the first place. We could have had a committee. A committee is not bound by the same rules of engagement that a commission is. So I would have thought that if we indeed want to deter people, make people answer account for what they did. It should have been a committee with the same panel because they are fantastic. Mr. Moses Fo Amonin is incredible. The Justice Jamepe, and I think he's earned himself the admiration of the entirety of the country. And the other man, I mean, and they all bring to the table different expertise backgrounds or expert backgrounds. You have this one who is supposed to be like an accountant or something, you know, and it makes it very exciting. But at the end of the day, my problem is, what do we do with their findings? But as for this melodrama that is becoming a fixture in the proceedings, it's something that, look, it is not going to help anybody. Pretending to be breaking down, rising, rolling, crying, screaming, those things at the end of the day will find no space in what will be the eventual determination by the commission. My advice to future interested criers is that please spare the crying when you get home. I mean, spare us the crying. Ghanaians are not interested in seeing you show all kinds of controllable emotions. These are emotions they could have controlled, but they deliberately decide to court some sympathy from Ghanaians. But mind you, Ghanaians are extremely angry at what you did. You go and blow our cash and you want to come and cry it away. People will not accept that as an explanation. They won't accept that. So for me, I have a difficulty with what we are going to do with the findings. This is an excellent body doing a good job.
Good probing.
Extremely good probing. And that's why I said, look, you have a seasoned lawyer.
You feel the outcome will come to naught?
It will come to naught because if you want to prosecute, because I strongly think, and without sound, at the risk of sounding prejudicial, some of the revelations are prosecutable. And you can't prosecute because this is supposed to be a commission. If you want to prosecute, you must initiate fresh investigations by either the CID or any other body for that matter. And for me, it makes nonsense of this whole exercise. My plea is that let's find a way. Whoever is found to have offended the law, let's find a way of making sure that in future that doesn't happen by prosecuting them. If it has to take fresh investigations, even though I think that is a very long process, we could have just had one-stop process whereby at the end of it all we proceed to court. But with this injunction regarding commissions, it is going to be difficult. But I strongly believe that it should not just end at people saying, oh, the commission did a good job, people misbehaved, they malhandled things, and we should go beyond that to prosecuting somebody or some people.
I have on the line Boniface Abubakar, and a very good morning. A very good morning to you, Boniface Gambila, Honorable, and you're a member of Parliament Sports Committee.
Yeah, good morning.
Well, good morning. Do I get the whole inclination that you seem to think the Parliament Committee on Sports would have done a better job than the committee was doing, or a committee put together by Parliament would have indeed been in a position to do a lot more good or a better job than the Commission is doing?
Yeah, I have a different view.
Okay.
And my view is that, you see, when government set up committees of this nature, it appears or it looks more of a normal court of prosecution of that kind of thing. People have that perception that this is a kind of court and you've committed an offense and you are put before it. That is what we are used to. But you see, if it had been Parliament, as my ranking member, Honorable Esiama, proposed, it would look like, oh, these are representatives of the people of constituencies. And they want to find out from their constituents what the issues are. And so the atmosphere in Parliament would be as friendly as any situation. And so when people appear in Parliament, they feel relaxed and they will respond according to their feelings. And they will get so happy because parliamentarians always will make people feel at home or feel that, oh, I'm your representative. I want to know the issues so that we can find solutions to them. That gives a different perspective and it gives a different picture and emotional feeling. But if you want people to formally establish commissions, and you know, this government in particular sometimes even confuses things. It will take you to a commission. The next minute that is taking you to court, and then the laws will say that you have tried the person at the commission level. You didn't give this part. That kind of confusion. So for me, we should let people feel to appear where they will feel more relaxed.
Okay.
Where they see their representatives better than like a court.
But
that's why people are.
But beyond the subject of the forum at which all this is being addressed and all this inquiry is being made, it doesn't mean that you call into question the competence of the membership or the composition of the commission, do you?
Not at all. What I'm talking from a psychological point. You see, when you have a panel like that sitting, particularly with a kind of judge there, appeal court judge, Supreme Court judge, the human being has a feeling that, hey, I'm appearing in court because I've committed an offense. It has a certain tag, So, but if you appear before Parliament, if you are going to Parliament, you are relaxed. No, I'm going to meet my representative. Even if people want to intimidate me, my representative is in Parliament. I can easily tell him, and you intervene. That is it. Parliament is more a relaxed place. But as for their competence, no. I'm not talking about competence.
From all the reports we get daily since the commission started sitting, especially by the media, you get an insight into an activity that tends to be a lot more revealing than many would have thought a parliamentary committee could have undertaken. Of course, because Parliament has had precedent. We've had some committees you've set up, you have an appointments committee, sessions, etc. That doesn't seem to be doing the grilling as you would want.
No, as for questioning, Parliament is one place where we have, I would say we have professional questioning. As for questioning...
So the judges and the lawyers, etc., are doing the work at the commission are not that comparable to those
I'm not talking of competence. Competence doesn't come in here.
You're talking about professional questions.
Everybody has his skill, competence, and whatever. What I'm saying is, even if Parliament has constituted the committee and picked the same panel, people appearing before it would know that, oh, this is a parliamentary committee, a committee set up by Parliament, and they will feel more relaxed, more at home. They will know that, oh, this one, at least I have a representative. My representative is in Parliament, and my representative is playing a role in this investigation. So within a nick of time, if there is anything happening, you just call your representative, hey, your people are bullying me, then he will come in and relax you.
Mr. Gambila, do you think that members of the commission seem to be intimidating those that are appearing before it?
No, they don't seem to be intimidating.
So what's your point?
Psychologically, when a human being or a Ghanaian is appearing before such a formally established committee, the impression is that this is a court, and therefore he has committed an offense. It's like he has been prejudged. That is a psychological feeling. I'm not talking about the competence of the panel or whatever. No, that is not the issue.
Okay, and before I let you go, do you think that by virtue of what you just said, your last point, this seems to have affected the responses of those who are appearing before the commission?
Exactly what I'm saying. Psychologically, it has impacted on them. They feel that they are appearing before a court because they have committed an offense.
So all that they've been eliciting, as far as responses are concerned, by the commissioners are untrue?
No, it's not untrue.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Boniface Gambila is a member of Parliament, but also a member of Parliament Sports Committee, and he thinks that Parliament committee or a committee composed by Parliament would have been a better platform for those who are appearing before the Commission to better relay their messages to the public, so to speak. Well, that'll be it for now. Now, our conclusions to all this.
I was one of those who earlier on wanted Parliament to be the one to investigate.
But you said that this one has been a lot more revealing.
Yeah, I think this one has been a lot more revealing.
Only that if it was a committee would have been better.
Exactly. And so All this talk about how comfortable they should have been and all those things, and I think it's neither here nor there.
I mean, I'm hugely disappointed oh yeah.
As for you.
I am hugely disappointed in the position the Member of Parliament has taken.
He's a Member of Parliament for Nantam.
That their job is to provide them comfort. The discomfiture Ghanaians have had to endure because we went and the blue man. Can you imagine that we should give them, pamper them? That if he's in trouble giving his answers, his Member of Parliament come and, my brother, all is well. I can relax you. I'll talk to them not to bully. Can you imagine?
To you, this is serious business.
It's serious business, my brother.
It borders on our very existence as a state. Look at them, huge
Mohamed Atik, that way for now.
Ridicule that was occasion to this country.
Mohamed Atik is the development policy analyst. Okay, so and he's also a member of the PNC. Thanks for joining me this morning, Mohamed.
Thank you, Roland.
When are you going to Peace FM?
So, such an unfortunate note to end this discussion. We'll be going to Congress hopefully by May of next year, and God willing, when the time is due.
Which position are you contesting?
I will go again for the General Secretary once more. And this time by God's grace, very confident I'm going to win.
I'm sure he will win.
And the head of research at the Dankwa Institute is Nana Atobra Kweko, my other guest. Thanks for joining me, Nana.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're taking a break. When we come back, we're speaking on the subject of postings of the National Service Secretariat and whether the scheme is in its right state at all and what's the way forward for the scheme. Do stay on. We'll be right back.